Hey friends, this is Marilyn from tarotclarity.com, and today I'm kind of sad because this video is the world card in Mascha's Top Tarot Triumph challenge that she has, and it's been so much fun. We've been, Mascha came up with an idea, I think, every 2 weeks, or every 2 months, or I forget what it was, but every few weeks, I think it's every few weeks, she would release her favorite or historic, whatever she wanted to release about, each of the Triumph cards. And she gave us a challenge. And so some of us have just been doing it. Now, I haven't missed a single one of the challenges. I stuck through it, because I really enjoyed doing it. It was a lot of fun. And she is having a Top Tarot Trumps party, a live event on Saturday, the 28th. I know it's 4 p.m. my time, which is New York time. So I'm sure if you were to visit Mascha's website or her YouTube channel, that you would easily see the timestamp for your region. So if you want to participate, if you did this challenge, and even if you didn't, if you just want to chat along, with Mascha, which I'm going to do. So, but at any rate, this is the world card, and the fact that it's like the 21st card is interesting because it wasn't always the 21st card, and it depended on the region, and I can't remember off the top of my head which regions, probably Bolognese, I'm guessing, but don't swear me to that. The sequence would have been 20 being the world card and 21 being the judgment card. And I think that's probably, to me, it makes a lot of sense that it came that way, because it could be seen as an accomplishment of your worldly, manifestations, so if you see the world card, generally I think it, for me, gives a sense of accomplishment, of things being settled, things being good, but it's one of accomplishment on this earth, on this realm, not maybe the next realm, but this realm. And we see that evidenced in, here we have the Tarocchi Visconti Sforza by Il Meneghello. And it's the earliest of the cards that I have on this table, but I also think it might be my favorite. It just might be my favorite. But, we have two putti in a verdant landscape with a hilly verdant landscape, who are holding, like a coin, this beautiful city, or the riches, or this wonderful, city that manifests wonderful things. No doubt it was like a city like Milan, right? It's like yours to be had, So it would make sense, since this would give a suggestion that it's about the material world and what you can manifest in the material world, and how successful you'll be in whatever worldly activity you're participating in. It doesn't really go beyond that in this context, right? And so the judgment card, then, it makes sense that the judgment card would be the last card, because the judgment card would represent, what happens after the physical world is over, and you have to account for everything you did and all the choices you made to get this, right? So to me, it kind of makes sense that this is seen, as the 20th card of the deck, and being the manifestation of accomplishment in this realm that we're in. Now, the second one I chose is a little, actually the Madrone. This one is probably earlier than the one I just showed you. The Madrone is probably the earliest. And here we have a copy by Marco Benedetti. And I'm going to zoom you in. So you see an accomplished figure. I don't know if it's an angel. I don't see wings. Could it be Christ? Could it be, I don't know. But it's above, almost like, it's above a crowned city. Again, this would have probably been, recognizable as a particular city. Or, it doesn't look like it has few buildings, but they're all castles. Maybe it was Castle Row. I don't know. But, so it gives a different feel, right? It's a different feel than, the presentation of by the Putti of that. Here, this person is above and looking down, which is different now, right? So, and then we have, I'm skipping to, the same deck in my drone, but done by Lo Scarabeo. I showed you Marco's, and then I just want to show you Los Scarabeo's. I just thought it was bling worthy. Okay, the next one I chose, which is next in chronological time also, is the Anonymous Tarot of Paris, which had not adapted the TDM wreath with the androgynous figure within it. So this would have been around the time of, the Noblet, maybe even the Vachier, right? So it was done probably right around the same time as them. But they have a different, they've been influenced differently, They maybe have this influence from Italy. Or maybe it's just an innovation that this artist came up with. But it gives a little different now. So we still have a figure above, like we have here. But it's like, but it's still different. So is it like, and she's got curtains. So it's like a stage. I mean, it's not even a cape or anything. I mean, it's on a rod. Oh, could be a flag. Could be a flag. So she's draped kind of in a flag. It could be some type of flag. All right. So she's draped in some type of flag. And we have a crowd of people observing her standing on a globe or walking on a globe. And the globe, well, of course, it's the religious, globe showing Christian domination on the planet. That's interesting. So is it like, what does that suggest? Right? That's very interesting. Then I picked the Autumn Sea de Hatot. It's like a Flemish deck, I think. Let me see. I'm talking out. I should have looked it up before I came here, but it's, I guess it's Flemish or Ruin. I apologize. It's easy to figure out, if I figure it out after the video, I'll put it down below. But now we still see some kind of drapery like we had here, right? But now it's not on a rod. It's just sort of free. Now this figure has wings where we didn't see it in the Anonymous Tarot of Paris, but we have sort of a similar globe, right? You know, symbolizing the Christian world and domination. So these two seem pretty familiar around the same period of time, maybe a different, you know, maybe adjoining towns or cities. I mean, I don't know if all this is true. These are just how it's striking me as I'm looking at them. And then the final card, I'm so glad I got this deck before I did this video, because I'm using the Eliphas Levy's world card that he drew to replace the TDM world card in the deck, his personal deck. And here we have a figure of, you know, Hermes Trismegistus with, you know, all his accoutrements, you know, but he's not standing on like a globe per se, and I'm not even sure if it's referencing any Christian stuff, you know, but I'm presuming that these represent four elements or states of being or whatever. You know, this card is kind of interesting to me, because one of the things that I think of when I see this card is world domination. And I wouldn't have necessarily seen any of those other cards in that way, although they could be. But it's not where my head went, like, oh, world domination. You know, it's just more like accomplishing, you know, what you set out to do, you know, that kind of thing. But this always has like a dark undertone to it, as far as I'm concerned. You may not see it that way, okay? So your perception would be absolutely correct, because the message would be coming through you, right? So your perception of this, you know, could be different than mine. And it's fine, because the message is intended for the person who's doing the interpretation. So I don't know, you know, I see these not as clouds, but as smoke, you know. So there's been some trickery at hand or something, you know. Maybe something was left in flames even. And this character is like so slick that no matter what mess he makes, he won't be affected by it. Maybe he can live in outer space, you know? So, and that's what this card struck me as when I just did a recent reading on video of and this card popped up, and that's how it struck me. And it's the first time that I ever saw maybe a sinister side to, or not a sinister, but, you know, to get to the very, 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 very top of anything. And I think this is just an observation that I've had as an elder looking back on life. It's that the people who really get ahead, and the people who really stay focused and they make a ton of money, if they didn't inherit a large portion of it already, right? They do so at expense, right, to other things. You know, if somebody dominates an arena or is at the top of their heap, there could be the occasional really wonderful human being who, just by virtue of their choices and being at the right time in the right place, succeeded and never really had to hurt anybody in the process. I'm not saying that those kind of people don't exist, but just in observing people, you know, I kind of can recognize that the people that I know who managed to make it, right? They didn't do it by being nice. And even if we look at people who are in the public eye, so many of them get arrested for not being nice, you know? So part of their identity of being on the top, right? something about them got lost in the process. But I don't want to get into all that now, I guess. But the World card was really a thinker card. It can really, all of them are. But the World card really is a thinker card because it, you know, depending on its image, it could take on different connotations, as all the tarot cards can. But it's just that in this case, being the World card, you know, I wouldn't expect it to show the underbelly side of success. And that's how I see this card, this particular card. I can be absolutely 100% wrong, not the intent of of Eliphas Levi when he created this card, you know, but that's just how I am perceiving the message of this card. It's just like you will attain what you hope to, but the ugly side of how you got there, there's evidence of it in this picture. That's all I'm trying to say, and that's how this particular card strikes me. Oh well, friends, hope to see you at Mascha's Top Tarot Trump party at her channel. And until next time, friends, peace. Oh, I don't know if this is going to air on Christmas Day. This might air on Christmas Day. So Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Or Happy Holidays, or whatever it is you celebrate, whatever winter festival strikes your heart. You know, I hope you're having a great time. I hope you are. And thank you for being here. Oh, and by the way, I'm only about 40 subscribers away from 3,000. Now, I know there's a week left, and I don't know if I can get 40 subscribers in 3 weeks, but if you haven't subscribed to me, just check and make sure, you know, that if you do like my videos, please subscribe. Give this a like, because it'll help me. It'll help me. And that would be a fun goal, to reach 3,000 subscribers by January. So it's only 40. I think maybe, you know, maybe I could get 40 in the next week. Oh well, Merry Christmas.